All right, now it is Sunday, August 11th, 2019. Is Bitcoin going to pull back from this structure and test $10,000 again? Let's jump in and see what our indicators are telling us on today's episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin. You can pause the video to read through the disclaimer. This isn't trading advice, just market observation. So let's jump in and observe. I've made some changes to the live stream today. Thank you guys for showing up and joining in. First off, let me know where in the world you are from. Second, I'd like to know, do you prefer Discord or Telegram? Woo! Richard, thank you for subscribing. Great to have you along. Fantastic. Let's jump in. Where are we? Okay, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. We can see that we have a downtrend line and that we've made a top formation and a pretty important wedge that we've broken down from. So that wedge now becomes resistance. But it's not all panic and gloom because we're still way inside the uptrend. And I think that we're going to be bouncing around in here, whipsawing a whole bunch of traders before we get a decision which way we're going. And I'm hoping that through this time, Bitcoin dominance is going to slide and the alts are going to moon. Let's go over to this chart here. This is the one that's a little closer range. As I'm looking in on this break, as it was consolidating, we were looking at the indicators through this. The MACD was the only one that was not going bullish, and I was bullish, and I was looking through all the indicators to give me a bullish reading out of it. And as we went through and I rewatched these videos, the MACD indicator wasn't playing along, and I wasn't getting it. So now, when we watched what the MACD is doing here, I think it's going to be more important. From Italy, you prefer Discord. Good to know that. Alfred, good to have you along. From Lisbon, Portugal, phenomenal. Telegram. Crypto Kerbit is in the house. Good to have you along as well. We'll see how this chat is turning up on the screen at the same time. I don't know if that's very visible. Maybe I'll need a different background in that. Let's jump in here. So I'm expecting that prices are going to come up, touch this area because it's important support and resistance, and then we'll fail down from there. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. First of all, I got to clear this off. Let me click this, clear that off. Zoom into a closer time frame. Closer time frame again. Oh yeah, closer time frame again. We had a good dump here. And prices bounced up, eased along, not too much action. Then we had another real good try at dumping. It should have gone if it was going to go, you would think. And then it bounced back up, but not on massive volume. So when we get into the on-balance volume, I'm really keen to see what's going on right here, especially right at this corner here. And to zoom in on the MACD indicator to see here today what's going on. From Canada, you don't do Discord or Telegram. It's about Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest. Okay, so I am getting the Twitter up and going again and pushing stuff out on that. And the Twitter stream will have our alerts for the next while being published there too. So I think that's phenomenal stuff for the altcoins. Let's jump into our indicators now and go through the routine because the weekly RSI is still giving us this ease off. It hasn't picked back up and given us that strength that we saw 2 days ago. Yesterday this eased off, but 2 days ago this was just above 70. So to see what this is closing off the week like gives us back our 3 weekly wicks, the reversal wicks in the charts, which I wasn't liking a long time ago and I still don't like them as a bull. Now we see that we do have a stronger divergence in the RSI across these tops. It's confirming and keeping that divergence going. But as we zoom in on this close time frame, that's going to give us the key. Is it going to pull back and test 10,000? And I say 10,000 just because of clear support and resistance right at that area. And it's a psychological number. Everybody, that 10K, it's just so easy to calculate. If it would just stay at 10K, it's so easy to calculate what a Satoshi is. It's like the metric cryptocurrency. Anyway, going into the 4-hour time frame. So what I'm looking for now, in addition to the divergences, is a break of that line. So the RSI has made us a trend now, and a break of that trend, if it continues to go down, that's bearish too. But a break of that trend will mean that we're probably going to be bouncing up from here if this breaks that trend line, because we saw that setting up all the way through on this little run up on the closer time frames, that the RSI would give us the divergence across this flat top and then spring right back up. It gave us the divergence across this flat top here, and then as it got down here, it sprung right back up. So if we're getting the divergence, I want to pay attention. And actually, it's springing up a little bit sooner. Where is that line? Kind of sketchy for that there. I'm not really buying into it. 1 hour time frame. Let's zoom in to the 15-minute time frame, and there is a positive divergence in the RSI. We can see where we had a higher RSI here when it rejected that low. That is bullish off of this little wee thing right here. So I'm still would be waiting for it to come up and touch the support and resistance from the past here, and then be watching these indicators to see if it's going to bounce off of that. As it's coming up, I'm still watching for the bearish divergences as it's coming up. So we'll see how that plays out. Now let's go into the weekly on balance volume. This is still showing pretty good volume for this week. If we go into the daily, strong, less strong, pretty strong on this side, but still nowhere near what we had here. Nowhere near. So if I zoom in now to the 4 hour time frame, strong, not that much selling. So this whole corner here looks good on the 4 hour time frame. It's got to come to a lot of selling here. So we had a lot of buying, and then it's all overall selling on the 4 hour time frame. So on the 12 hour, you add all these things together and they smudge the data a little bit. And as we get in closer, we start to see this was still, I couldn't see this as too bearish. Maybe it's my own, obviously it's my own not seeing it because it's right there. The divergence is there as we're going along. I was just seeing this as stronger, and all the way through this whole side here, it's been not as strong. It hasn't given us the buying volume to pick it up, and we need it if we're going to go higher. So that's the 1 hour time frame. The 15-minute time frame shows more buying, but really it's just on this the last few hours, the last 12 hours as we're going through, that we see some steady buying. And on this dump here, it wasn't that strong. I wonder if we can see more in the 5-minute view. So the dump was strong, but it didn't immediately reverse with buying. The buying didn't come in, and for me, it's just not looking that strong, but it really has to pick up more from this if we're going to break higher. For now, this is giving me a negative divergence in that we had more buying here and not as much buying on that second high here. It just didn't have the push. So that is pretty key to giving me more, that it feels like it's going to be doing, did I erase it? Yeah. It'll be doing that drop down. Let's go on to the next indicator. Oops. Oh, that is the weekly view. Okay. So the weekly view is still looking bullish in that I'm always comparing it to what happened here in the last big bull run, that the MACD came close and didn't cross over and went up. Close but didn't cross over, and then it went up. And as we're seeing here, it's come close and it didn't cross over, and the histogram even didn't go as weak yet. Like these came right down to dust, like nothing, before it recovered and went up. So there's still, next week we'll watch this to see what happens with this. Does it come down another tick? Does this cross over? That will be really important. Now, if we go into the 1 day view, I'm watching this to see what is unfolding. Oh, look at that. I got to zoom in on that, because this histogram has gone back 1, 2, 3, 4 days now, and we're really pushing towards a crossover. Yesterday it wasn't looking quite so bad. Today it's really pulled back some more. So the next, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for this to be shaping up and doing something, or pulling back to the 10K. If we go back below the 9,000 level, that will be pretty important and not good for the bulls. Let's zoom this back in, clear that off, zoom in now to the 12-hour time frame. This is crossed over negative. So we have negative histogram, we have a crossover to the negative right pretty late actually in this top formation. That's the 12-hour. Okay, but that's negative. Zoom into the 4-hour. What are you doing? Okay, the 4-hour did cross negative here on the number 1 point of the 1, 2, 3. and it has remained negative, but the last few hours now, the last day and a half, it has been, the histogram is easing off, and we don't see it crossing over yet. But as that's easing off, we got to see it continue on negative if this is going to cross to the negative. But this is still bearish. If I zoom into the 1 hour time frame from this now, we do have a bullish crossover. The histogram is positive, so the 4 hours negative, the 12 hours negative, the long term is positive, the daily is sort of iffy. And as we zoom into the 15-minute time frame, this was giving a positive cross. As I looked at it this morning, I was going, oh yeah, look at this positive cross. As we're coming out of these lows, it's rejecting it pretty strong, and a nice divergence here in the RSI from this time frame. But now it's crossed negative. So in the last half hour, as I was getting prepared for this live stream and making the thumbnail and all of that, down she went. Now let me check the chat. Which way will it go? I think I think it's going to crack down probably as we're watching. There's support at around 11,200, 10,800, 10,300. There is. And then Crypto, even Tone Vase is as good as you. Keep it up, Doug. Well, thank you. Tone Vase is awesome. I really appreciate his work. I think the thing that makes my channel different than theirs is the trading plan. The 1, 2, 3 tops, the 1, 2, 3 bottom. Mix it together with the exponential moving averages, and you pretty much got it. But 7 times out of 10, those 1, 2, 3 bottoms, the 1, 2, 3 tops are fakes. And so I had to start adding in all of these indicators to see, now, is this a fake bottom or not? Because they looks the same, but you can see in the indicators, one bottom is really different than the other, and you can't tell the difference without ripping into these indicators this way. And I'm doing this for selfish reasons. I really want to profit as I have in the past. So it takes the research, it takes preparation, and it takes consistency. It doesn't take intense work to be successful at trading. It takes consistency. The same thing every day, every day, every day. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And that's what I teach in my course. If you guys are interested in that, if you want to learn more, you can click on the links down below. But if you are new to trading, be sure to go over to the website, where's my link, and get the free chapter to my book so that you know this trading plan. I got one monitor that's calved out, and it's like having a tooth missing. Every time I try to move my mouse over, it bumps up against that no longer there monitor anymore. So head over to the website and sign up to the email list. There's all sorts of bonus training and stuff that goes on there that fits exactly in this trading methodology here. Now to move on, we're looking at the 12-hour Ichimoku cloud. Did I just skip right by the other ones? Probably while I was talking. So we have the exhaustion candles. This is all still bullish. That's why there's nothing changing here in this. This doesn't tell you to do anything different. It told you to get into the trade earlier, and now it's just saying sit. Don't do anything. This is pretty much saying sit as well. It's touching off the top of the cloud, and this could be a buy signal in an uptrend if it starts to pull away from this. But we also have a twist to the negative. We don't have the blue crossing over the red. We don't have the green crossing down below through both of these to give us a sell signal here on the daily. This is still saying hold and sit, which may be true and wise if you got in way back when the buy signal was. So here is the top formation, the 12-hour time frame, crossed over to the positive. We have a twist to the positive. This has gone positive through both. So on the 12-hour time frame, it still could be a buy signal in an uptrend. Until it breaks through these, this twists to the negative, and the blue line crosses the red. The conversion line crosses over the baseline. So and this is why I'm doing all these indicators, because one indicator says one thing, the others say something different, and you can average them all together and put them into which one makes sense. I was poo-hooing the Ichimoku cloud because I was wanting it to give me a signal it wasn't giving me, and then it proved out to be correct, and okay, so I have to learn more from the Ichimoku. Now, I'm looking for this to be negative. That's my bias right now. I am expecting it to come back and retest some levels and give us a better bottom formation right along, where is this other chart? There's a little bit more weakness there. Right along these levels. So it's going to give us this huge triangle, and we should see some really massive divergence in our RSI and our on-balance volume and everything through these areas. As it settles on this, it should give us a 1, 2, 3 formation. It always does. It always does. And I don't like to say the word always, but the 1, 2, 3 formation, you can find it just everywhere, all the time, all the time. We'll see if this plays out. I love drawing them out. Let's go back in and zoom now in the Ichimoku cloud. I was finding favor in it in the 1 hour time frame, because on this time frame, when it gets trending, look, you'd see the buy signal in the uptrend. It was pretty nice. And as it came into these levels and broke through, this was a sell signal that confirmed perfectly to the timing of the chart actually breaking. So the 1 hour time frame is hard because it's going up and through, that it timed it. This one is okay, but it was still tricky to trade this using the Ichimoku cloud alone. It is cross negative. We do have the green line below. We have a red. Everything is all negative here in the 1 hour time frame. So it did confirm as it was happening. As we're zooming in now to the 15-minute time frame, it's actually gone back up through the cloud. That's positive. If it bounces off this and continues up, we'll have to pay attention to that. And we'll watch this a trailing indicator, this green line, to see what it does. We'll watch to see if this continues to hold its positive twist, or is it going to twist to a negative as we're moving along here. So again, the Ichimoku cloud isn't giving me solid signals that I'm wanting. I'm preferring the trend lines and the exponential moving average crossover combined with the other indicators so that you can see that divergence at the same time. Maybe I need to draw the Ichimoku cloud differently and have some background in there. Okay, I'm messing this up. Okay, so we've run through pretty much what Bitcoin is doing. We've gone through our indicators, and while I could go on and continue monitoring as it's going, that pretty much covers what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to be coming down from here. Let me just review those again. Which are the most important ones here? If I go to the 12-hour, RSI isn't giving an indicator clear enough here. I would watch it on the 4-hour time frame and give myself a parallel channel here to be watching what it's doing. So if it's starting to crack up above this level, and we have the RSI breaking up, that's a buy. And I would be really skeptical on holding it for any kind of length of time. I'd be still watching for it to come off and bounce off of these levels, because it's another sell signal. And you throw the ball up in the air and it's losing momentum. This is just a little bounce of hope. And as it comes up, then we're going to get we'll watch for the divergence as this is playing out. But right now the RSI isn't giving me a signal I can bite my teeth into. The on-balance volume was a little bit weaker on the end here. So this is giving us the negative divergence of selling. So there's a couple that are not so, and this is giving us the crossover to selling on the 15-minute time frame for the MACD. The 1 hour is still positive. If these histograms come back, then down she goes. Same thing with the 4-hour. If those histograms start to grow, we know down she's going to go, and we'll see it coming. And as it comes up to touch these levels, I may do another live stream so that we can catch that and observe what these indicators are doing exactly at that time. And if it tops and it's pulling back, this just puts everything all together. Very nice. And the Ichimoku cloud, will review it again to see what's up. Now, Bitcoin dominance, I guess I'll finish off with, it did peak here. And I see people quoting 71%, and I've looked around and I don't see where they're finding 71%. Even coin market cap, drag that down here, it is saying 68.7. And when I click on that to go in and check it out, you can see the peak here. I don't know where they're getting the 71%. If you know where that's coming from, put that in the chat for me. Let me know. So Bitcoin dominance is easing off, a little bit of a tick here. But if I go to the 1-year view so that we're looking at the daily bars, we can see what a crazy trend up this was. And also that there is now this massive wedge shape in place. Right to the point, pretty much. So I'm watching for this to be a top formation, but it isn't enough yet to switch around the alts and make us go bull. Now I have to find my spreadsheet. Where did I put that? Oh, here we go. I'll drag this down into place now. This is the overview of the alts right now. And we can see that we've gone, the fail status coins have pulled way back, and we've jumped way up in the near fail status coins, but we haven't yet gone to a neutral status. Pull this over deep enough. We can still see that there's a big bearish indicator in the alts and not enough of a bullish to be jumping into it. So when we compare that to the Bitcoin dominance, yeah, okay, the bottoms may be coming in now, but they're not established yet. We haven't had a proven change of direction in Bitcoin or in Bitcoin dominance. It's the first little ticks of it, so it's interesting to see. It's awesome and exciting to see, but it's not ready yet. Let's go into the specifics of, and then I'll wrap it up here. Poloniex Bull Market Watch, you can see that we were up to 43 failing markets the other day. Then we came up real nice to 20 only. Now today there's only 5 markets that are failing to new lows, and 37 markets have come just up off those bottoms now, so that they are nearly failing. They could go down to new lows anytime, they're so close. But there are 10 markets that are into neutral status. 1 is in alert and 1 is a hold. So this is the first of the wave of the cryptos that is going to be taking off. And that's where the first of the crypto money is going to be made. And I think they're going to be blasting off fast too. As Bitcoin drops at all, they're going to launch. It's going to be like the fat kid jumping on the other end of the teeter-totter. So here we are in Binance, where we can see we went from 112 failing coins, 127 on the 6th. We are down to 109 on the 9th. Then we came way down on the 10th yesterday. And then this morning when I went through and did this again, we're down to 4 failing markets, 92 near fails, and 57 of them are now neutral, which means they are in the process of building those bottom formations. These are going to be the first wave to go, and probably not all 57 of them. Maybe there'll be 10 or 20 that'll be the first wave to go. And they're going to get everyone's attention. The ones that are coming up last are going to have a much slower trend upward, I believe. And we'll watch those over the next few days as we're going from neutral into alert status and into hold status here on the simple bull market watch. This is based on the 12-hour exponential moving average crossover of the 1 to 3 bottom formations. So if you want to get a hold of that, be sure to come over to the website and we'll find more information about it. If you haven't already, let me know in the chat here or in the comments down below, do you prefer Discord or Telegram for your cryptocurrency groups? I've got both, but I haven't done much with the Telegram group. We've got a good bunch of people over on our Discord group. We're talking about these coins and markets all the time throughout the day. So as things are unfolding, then I can finish the conversation about what we're starting to talk about here. As this breaks higher, as it's coming up to these levels, and we watch those divergences in the indicators, I post them into our chat. And we've got a bunch of really good traders there that give some additional ideas too. It's not just my own stuff for sure. So let me know if you're a Discord person or a Telegram person. And I will jump in for another live stream later today. If we are coming up to these areas and hesitating with a top formation, I'm going to want to record that to see what those indicators are telling us at that moment. And if we do break below these levels, I probably will watch for a retest level before I'm going to do an unscheduled live stream. And of course, I'll do the regular routine tomorrow so that we keep steady at checking things out. If we do a bottom down here, I'll do a live stream as it's happening. If we do a top up here, I'll do a live stream as it's happening. And then tomorrow I'll just do a live stream wherever it is. Definitely Discord. Good to know. Marco, good to have you along. Thank you guys for being here. And I want to sign off now with a thank you for the people who are supporting this channel over on Patreon and in the alerts package subscription. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin.